"The Avengers are not coming." This line from the trailer was an emotional gut punch, and after watching the film, you realize it wasn't just a dialogue. It was a theme. Thunderbolts is not a traditional superhero movie. It's the story of characters who, for the first time, set out not to save someone else, but to save themselves. This film represents a face of the MCU where the humor of Guardians of the Galaxy, the intensity of the Winter Soldier, and the emotional burnout after Endgame all blend together. Though the film follows a mission narrative, at a deeper level, it feels more like a therapy session for those who have always considered these characters as the leftovers of the Avengers. But in truth, these are the most emotionally battered and morally conflicted heroes in the MCU. This phase of the MCU is clearly in reset mode, and Thunderbolts is the first clear signal of that shift. From the very beginning, it's apparent that this story is not built for spectacle, but for substance. The film's greatest strength is its tone, grounded, mature, and deeply personal. Every character here is a fracture, an incomplete sentence. Yelena is completing missions, but inside, she's hollow. Bucky Barnes is a soldier who shifts into a different mode after every war. Red Guardian hides the painful cry of his lost relevance behind every joke. Ghost's physical instability has become a metaphor for her emotional brokenness. The story of Thunderbolts is not about heroes, it's about anti-heroes. Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, and John Walker are all people discarded by the system and brought together for one mission. When this team falls into Valentina's deadly trap, they are forced to walk a path where their biggest enemy becomes their own past. Even Val doesn't escape this thread. But the real trouble begins when the Void is unleashed, engulfing New York in darkness. Will this group of misfits be able to stop it? To find out, you'll have to watch Thunderbolts. This movie channels the energy of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 in a new way. A misfit group of emotionally broken individuals on an impossible mission who learn to fight for each other and live again. But while Guardians had a space fantasy tone, this movie stays grounded, literally and metaphorically. There are punchlines here, but they don't feel forced. There is trauma, but it doesn't feel exploitative. Most importantly, it has soul, something that seems missing from most modern superhero films. The last time I saw such soul was in Deadpool and Logan. Films that seemed fun on the surface, but carried deeply relatable thematic weight inside. I've explored that in detail in another video. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out for context. For now, this spoiler-free video of Thunderbolts continues. Director Jake's approach to this movie feels tight and focused. While the fun tone of Guardians is definitely present, each joke is followed by silence that echoes trauma. The co-writing by Joanna Kahlo and editing by Harry Yoon keeps the film cohesive instead of chaotic. Every character brings their own journey, and each scene carries weight. Scenes without weight are trimmed down to a line, while side characters with potential are given proper time, like Mean, played by Geraldine Vishwanathan. In terms of performances, everyone brings their A-game. Florence Pugh, as Yelena Belova, once again steals the show. Her sharp humor, the underlying current of grief, and her attempt to live a normal life are portrayed in such a grounded manner that she becomes even more relatable. David Harbour's Red Guardian is not just comic relief. He emerges as a broken father figure desperately trying to feel relevant because he knows what it means to be alone. He's pulled himself out of that void in his own way and helps Yelena do the same, which becomes key by the end of the movie. Finally, the MCU has found a real purpose, something that goes beyond just showcasing superpowers. And when it comes to Bucky Barnes, this might be the first movie since Civil War where he truly feels naturally placed. He starts to emerge as a leader here. Valentina's presence feels a bit like Nick Fury, but with a twisted sense of control and manipulation, which is portrayed quite effectively in the film. Because of that, she never comes across as trustworthy, making her unpredictable in every scene right till the end. Speaking of Bob, when his Sentry and Void reveal happens, the film's third act reaches an existential level. It's not just about destruction, it becomes the personification of depression. The Void isn't a villain. It's a representation of self-destruction. One of the best things about Thunderbolts is its tone. Many recent MCU projects have lacked tonal coherence, an emotional breakdown in one scene followed by slapstick comedy in the next. But Thunderbolts maintains consistency. Every joke, every fight, every emotional beat serves the mission. This is a story about broken people. They don't just fight, they live with every wound, both physical and emotional. The action is raw and brutal, but not overly polished. The unsung hero of the movie is its music. Sun Lux's background score doesn't just set the mood, it allows the scenes to breathe. When characters are wrestling with trauma or facing the existential horror of the void, the music amplifies those inner struggles. It acts as an emotional bridge, letting the audience feel the character's pain without unnecessary exposition. However, the movie isn't flawless. Some characters like Ghost and Bucky feel like they've only been explored on the surface level, despite having rich thematic potential. Another issue was noticeable in a power combo scene. While it's understandable that this team is full of skilled fighters and super soldiers who are still new to working together, the fusion of powers could have been more impactful. The third act lacks a bit of grand visual experimentation, which is usually expected in big-budget films, especially when the stakes are high. That said, these flaws don't dilute the film's emotional weight because the emotional grip is incredibly strong. Personally, these flaws didn't bother me much. It's only when discussing with friends that I realized they might count as shortcomings. I truly believe Thunderbolts is the most emotionally grounded MCU film. It may not have billion-dollar earning potential, but it holds billions of emotions. It's the story of people who have lost their worth and are trying to redefine themselves. If you feel the MCU has lost its heart, Thunderbolts brings it back. Yes, it's fractured and flawed, but it's also completely real. It doesn't rely on CGI or meta-references. It's an honest story about a group of losers trying to win again. If you had stopped watching Marvel, this movie could be your reason to reconnect. Not for some big Avenger or iconic hero, but for the ones left behind, the ones you can truly relate to. Marvel has genuinely created something special here, at least from my point of view. And maybe that's why it hit me so deeply and I'm praising it so much. I would really recommend that you watch this film because it is genuinely well made. So guys, that was my review. Hope you liked it. If you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments whether you agree with me or not. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and share it, and subscribe to our channel for more contents. To understand how powerful Sentry is, watch the video above. And to know the future of Henry Cavill's Wolverine, watch the one below. I'll be back with a new video soon.